Maybe? Turkey? Right. Good morning. I'm making sure, we're working. Hey, welcome back for another fun-filled week of Shakespeare. We are actually, though, getting really close. If you look at our to-do list for the week, remember, you do not have school on Friday, okay? And so we are actually going to, in our 4 days here, wrap up Hamlet altogether, right? So we'll be done with the story on Wednesday, finish up those packets Thursday, and then next week we'll do some test prep and things like that, and get the test out of the way before spring break as well. So that's good, right? Today, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Okay, so I hope you're ready for this. We'll see, and I'll give you more details in a minute. But to practice for your challenge, in your journal right now, put down today's date as 3/19/18. In a moment, I'm going to flip over this piece of paper, and you're going to see the names of some characters from Hamlet. Your task is to list these characters in the order they appear in the story. Okay? So which character do we meet first? Then which one do we meet second? Etc. I've only given you 5, so you won't have to worry about side characters like messengers or anything like that. We got Hamlet, Ophelia, Horatio, Polonius, and King Claudius. Again, think back and see if you can remember which character we meet first, and then next, and then next, and then next, and then next. Okay, so take a guess for this. All right. Who is fairly confident about the first character we meet? Ethan, I saw your hand immediately. Who do you got? Horatio. And why do you think that?
Because he was at when they were found the ghost, they had brought him outside where he could see it.
Exactly. So our opening scene, remember, is outside the castle. Okay? And we start sort of with the guards kind of talking and saying, we're bringing Horatio in, right, to see if he can see the ghost as well, because he'd be an excellent witness for us. Okay, so Horatio is our first character.
Why could Horatio see the ghost, and why could everybody see the ghost immediately but not?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's one that I don't have a great answer for. Remember when we started the book, I talked a little bit about that concept of suspend your disbelief. And that is a term that is oftentimes used when you go to see movies that you know have flaws in them. You know, like, oh, this could never happen. Like Spider-Man could never really shoot things out of his wrist. That could never happen. But when you go to see those movies, you don't sit there and point every single thing out, right? Unless, you're that person, in which case maybe you do. But usually we just sit back, we relax, and we enjoy it, right? There's a little bit of that with Hamlet as well. There are certainly some loose ends and some flaws in the story. For example, the one you brought out, the fact that, like, how come some people can see the ghost and others can't? Why can Horatio see it, but Queen Gertrude can't? And it's just the way the story's written, right? Who is our next character that we meet?
King Claudius?
Okay, why do you think that?
Because he starts doing his speech thing with Queen Gertrude.
Very good. So number 2 is King Claudius. After our outside castle scene, we kind of transition to inside the castle. And that's when we have King Claudius doing a big, long spiel, thanking all the people, kind of introducing a few of our characters. Okay? After King Claudius, who do we have?
Polonius.
Good. What comes next?
Hamlet.
No, I mean, what's Polonius doing?
He comes up and he starts talking to King Claudius. King Claudius was like rewarding him or something like that, or sending him on a mission.
Close. Remember, this is when his son wanted permission to go to France, right? And so King Claudius is talking to Polonius about, hey, is that okay with you if Laertes goes to France? And Polonius says yes. Then who do we meet? Who's our fourth? Ophelia. Hamlet. Hamlet before Ophelia. We were so close. We were almost for 5 there, right? And that one's a little bit tricky because we meet Hamlet towards the end of Act 1. It's sort of like where he comes out and everybody remember he's like a little more kin but less than kind, right? And does his little bantering with King Claudius. And then in the next scene, we finally meet Ophelia. We hear about Ophelia here, but we don't actually meet her till later. Raise your hand if you got at least 4 out of 5 right. Anyone get 5 out of 5? Oh, okay, good. Well, this is boding very well then for our activity today. Okay? So we've worked a little bit with quotes. And that's because there is going to be a quote section on the test. Okay? But it's also because there are so many famous quotes in Hamlet. Ones that you will continue to hear used outside of this class. Right? And so I want you to be familiar with them. So today, what I've done... Oh, yes. Anytime I slide out the drawer, you know what's coming, right? I have 17 quotes here from Hamlet. Quotes we've encountered, quotes we've talked about, quotes we've done questions with, quotes from the quote packet, all of the above. Okay? I've mixed them all up, and I've also put 2 different types of stickers on them. Right? In this class period, I just didn't go like that. Where are you at? It's either going to be a soccer ball or it's going to be a flower. Okay? I'm going to come around and give everybody a quote. And honestly, we're missing some students here, so some of you may get a bonus quote. Right? Your quote is going to indicate which team you're on first, so that's the first thing you want to see. Am I on soccer ball or am I on flowers? Okay. Then we're going to split up. If you are soccer ball team, you head over here. Soccer balls, right? If you are flower team, you head over here. And that should split the class sort of in half there. And then I'll come around and just give out some extra quote cards to teams, okay, who are missing, for the students that we're missing. Your goal with your team is to arrange your quotes in chronological order. Okay, from when the first one appears in the text through Act 4, where we left off. But here's the thing. Only you can touch your quote card. Okay, so let's say Fearless and Anna over here, they both put down their quote cards, and Pears is like, oh no, these need to be switched. And he goes to grab Anna's to move it. Anna's got to move her own. All right, so you all have to work together in order to get them organized in the correct order. When your team thinks you have all of your quote cards lined up correctly, you're going to run up here, one of you is, and you're going to hit my bell. Like that. Okay? Then I'm going to come over and do a check. Okay? Now, I'm not going to be super helpful. Right? So if you have a few cards out of place, I'm just going to say, this is not correct. Okay? I'm being very stoic about it, right? I'm going to walk away. And you got to figure out which ones to fix. Okay? Now, I am going to provide some lifelines. After 3 unsuccessful checks, your team can now use a Hamlet packet. Okay? And after 3 more unsuccessful checks, I will let you use a book. Okay? Things will get desperate, right? But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know. Maybe you guys will master it in like 5 minutes, and maybe not. We will see, right? A couple words of warning. First of all, as you may tell, I'm still fighting this cold, right? So I can't talk super loud. So please listen for me. I'll probably use the bell as well when I'm trying to get your attention a little bit. And so just quiet down for transitions. The other thing I want to warn you is be kind to each other. sometimes when you do group activities, it's easy to get frustrated, but be kind to each other, be patient. You're going to figure it out. You just have to work together. Okay? It's going to be helpful to think about who said this quote. Okay? Because if you can figure out which character said it, then that's going to help kind of frame your reference a little bit. Okay? It's also going to be helpful to think about the context. Okay? What was going on when this quote happened? What does this quote mean? Because that, too, will provide you with that frame of reference. And surprise, those are the things I'll ask you to do on the test, too. You got to tell me who said it, okay, and what was the significance or the context. So this is great practice for that upcoming assessment. Okay, let me make sure. I think I've got them all. I think I covered all my stuff. All right. Questions. Where are the soccer balls team going to be? Over here. Where are the, over here, point, yeah. Where are the flower team? Where are they going to be? Thank you. Okay. Point to yourself. Okay, I'm very worried about this whole row. I've seen no pointing except for Justin. Okay? Hopefully this will wake you up a little bit. All right, once you get your quote, first thing to do is go to your side. Ooh, dang, this is good. I'm going to have you guys line up your quotes. Because remember, it's going to look almost like a timeline, if you will, like a timeline of quotes. This side, you guys are going to use this whole row. So if you've got stuff on your table, if you can kind of move it to the side, that would be great. Over here, soccer ball team, you guys are going to use this row. So same thing. If you could move stuff off of the table so that people can use that kind of count, it's going to look like a counter, to set up your timeline, because it's going to be long. And it's easier to arrange them on a table than it is a floor, because you don't have to bend over as far. Or I'm going to start at the very bottom. We're mixing it up. We're getting crazy. Yeah. Good. And if you want to just hang on, and then I'll say move, and we'll do it. Well, you can if you want. The flipping part is fine. It depends. Do you? Ooh, so many options. All right, go ahead. Head to your side. Head to your side. Thank you for pushing in chairs. You're going to want space. Yep.
Okay, Carrie. Let's do this.
Hold on, though. I've got more cards coming, remember? Yep.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're not being the question.
All right, soccer ballers. Here's all of your bonus ones for all your absent students. All right. Floral team, here are your extra ones for your absent students. They have to be integrated in there as well. Justin, you're good at quotes, so you should come in more close and help out.
Yeah. No, this is earlier. This was Marcella.
Yeah, that's oh, great. Yeah, it might be smart to be on. You guys could run your timeline going this way, and that way you could all see. You know what I mean? From both sides of the counter. So that could be a good strategy.
Don't touch it. I don't know. This is late.
That was early on.
Well, you guys are getting some kind of semblance of order here.
It's
Random.
like this chance. You see this? All the readers on one side. Everybody has one
I
side.
don't know what you're talking about. John here is a serious reader. He loves it. Megan's like at 100%. You've got lots of assets.
It's not for Ophelia. So it's before.
Yes.
And isn't this after that?
Okay. I don't know why I said Hamilton.
This is after that.
Hey, I'm going to give you guys a tip that I learned from over there. If you flip them this way and do your timeline this way, you can see the quotes from both sides of the table, which is kind of helpful. I mean, just a strategy idea. Yeah. Then you can see them from both sides.
Wow, nice work.
It's all team flower. It's team flower.
Where's the
Early, right? That's my random one.
early because that's
Well, they're all facing different ways.
Oh, you guys.
Come close.
I don't know. You guys love the camel one, don't you? I had to put a random one in there somewhere just for a little funsies. You gotta hit my bell. You can't check it off till the bell gets hit. Yeah, you have to have all the cards in place. Got a few still waiting. Oh.
No, because that comes after. That is before. Yeah, I was in here. Yeah, that's the early on.
Who still has a card? You got a couple down here? Mason's got one? No, you're not. You have 5 down there. You are going to join.
No.
Over here. Oh. I don't even know if your group was ready for that.
No, we're not.
Whatever. I'll come over there next. Hold on. I set this up so I could just look at the first word. It's not correct. Wait, you gotta have all your cards down before I can check. All right. All right, where do your cards start? Here, down here? Not correct. Yeah, so, well, 1 is okay.
I know. So I feel like this is before it starts. Okay. But I don't know who this is.
This is way after the play. I don't know. Before Hamlet tried to kill him, and Hamlet's like, wait, I can't get off screen.
It's not that it's where you get to the
Oh, that is the king. That's not.
It's a very gentle bell.
This is not right.
No, wait, that is the ghost. That is the ghost. It's saying revenge my murder, like avenge me. That is the ghost. That's what it is.
Never mind.
No.
We're still wrong here. Wait.
You saw the what? Oh, all right.
Well, he was talking about, like, no, this is the ghost, though. Because he's saying, like, is this the event?
Oh, we'll see. Okay. No. What comes first?
We don't even have the first.
This card
Yeah.
first.
No? Wait, who says this? Who's our character? No. Marcellus. Marcellus says this, right?
I think the reason.
When?
At the end of the
After he saw the ghost, right? After he saw the ghost?
After
Scene where he's with Hamlet with the ghost. So there's some stuff that comes before that first, okay?
That's why I remember it.
And that's why I thought these were switched.
Yes. No.
We can use our background.
Still no. They had the same problem. Who says this?
Marcellus.
Marcellus. Marcellus. Who's Marty? Okay, so Marcellus says it when?
After Hamlet.
in the first
After he talks to the ghost, right?
After he talks to the ghost. So it's not the first ghost sighting
That's
scene.
what I said.
It's the second one when they're with Hamlet. So there has to be some stuff that goes down in the castle before they go outside the castle.
That one was right there.
Yes? Still no.
It's gotta be mine. Where's mine?
What goes here? So
Get your
How's that one
packet,
not the
boys.
second one?
how's it not the second one?
That one's like really early.
Remember, they do ghost hunting twice. The first one's at the very, very beginning. The second one is with Hamlet, okay, a little bit later on. So there needs to be some stuff that goes on here before we get down here. Yes, you're on the right track. There you go. We're sending Laertes off to France, remember? Whose is that? Oh, it's extra? Okay, there we go. Now we're getting closer. And there needs to be one more here.
This one.
Yes. Now we're getting closer. Yes.
Was that again?
1,
I feel like you missed
4, 5. Okay, we're doing good up until here. Okay, so you have the first 6. How are you guys doing? They got a 6. So, where's this guy going?
That's Laertes.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right. Yes.
Oh, so we're exactly right.
We're so close.
Switch those.
Perhaps. Why are you all not listening to Hunter? He apparently knows the deal here. Yeah, they do a little switcher. There we go. Okay, hey, you're doing good down into here.
Something else is supposed to be there?
Yeah.
When is this? To be or not to be?
That is after.
That's before
That's right before
we
you
have a
cross the
few
line.
more things to swap here. Is this third check for you? Then you can use your packet. Likewise. You got it. Thank you. You guys can do packet after this too. Let's see. So where did we leave off? We left off on Though There's Be Madness, right? No, we left off on More Matter, let's start. Yes, no, you're good. You're good. Wait, hold on.
This is 110%.
No, you guys just said.
You left off here, okay? Grab a packet. You guys get resourced. It won't have all the quotes, but it'll have a lot of them.
The plate is the thing. And then the lady doctor says too much. After that one.
Wait, this is in the middle.
Yeah, but that's like right after the play. Yeah, the next thing will catch the conscious of king, and then this is nothing but the lady doctor. Before, okay.
Because remember he's flirting during the play when he roasted her first.
Yeah, he's really.
And then during the play, I feel like
This happens
a lot.
Yeah.
This is before Ophelia walks in.
Yes.
And then he says and then this is during the play.
Yes.
After the play.
Yes. Then that's also after the play.
Okay. Ding. All right, ding us.
Someone go ding it.
All right. Where did we leave off in our group? Though This Be Madness?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I'm moving down my line here.
I knew it.
Wait. No, you're okay.
Okay, I was like.
You're okay. Hey, you got that one. That's a tough one. Who says this?
That's Hamlet to Polonius.
That's Hamlet to Polonius.
He's
Yeah,
saying
I
it.
remember that.
Polonius
That's
is-
the reason. I don't even understand why
Yes,
this
it's
goes
like
into
totally
the
random, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then he says it looks like a weasel. It looks like a, yeah. Okay, doing
Or
so
a whale.
good. Doing good. You did it. Woo! You did it. You got it. Yes, but I want to check yours too, see how close you were. You know it? All right. If we have a tie, I'm going to have a random quote tiebreaker. Yours are weird because yours like are facing this way, but they start. Where do we leave off? The place of thing? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Not him. What comes after to be or not to be? Immediately after that, he has to stop talking. Remember, he
I'm saying it's this one.
He says, hush. Not quite. Thy fair Ophelia. He has to stop talking to himself because Ophelia comes in the room, and what does he say to her? A lot. Like over and over again. Yeah, get thee to a nunnery. Good. There we go. Remember, you had to stop talking there. Really? Aaron knows who knows.
I said that 3 times.
This time 4. So we got get thee to a nunnery. Then we're in the play, right? Yeah. Who is this? Who speaks?
Queen.
The queen. Goes there, right?
Unraveling now.
We're just a little off. This guy's going to go way over here, though. Wow. But remember, this is where he sees Fortinbras. And he's like, hey, I can do this. I can lead my army, too. Now we're doing right. Yes, I'll speak daggers to her, cruel to be kind. The rest is all right. There you go.
Tiebreaker.
Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Our soccer team was victorious today. Yes, in our very challenging quote matchup. If you could condense the quotes into one pile for me, I'll grab those from you. And then go take a seat.
Whoa.
Are they in order still or not?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah, they're still kind of.
Are yours in order?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. So, hey, nice work on that. Sometimes when I tell students that we're going to do work with quotes or that there's going to be quotes on the test, they freak out. But you know this. You know this stuff. We've talked about it. We've worked with it. And I felt pretty good about the conversations that I heard you having as you tried to place each quote. And eventually, you guys got it. Okay? Pop quiz. In your brain. So, I mean, you don't have to, like, write it. I'm going to put it up there. You're tell me who said it. And I need to hear this from everybody.
Hamlet.
Cheater. Oh, make it smart. To who?
You just complaining.
Kind of. He does say to Queen Gertrude, what does this essentially mean? She's weak. Okay? For getting remarried so fast, right? He's like, why can't you just be an independent woman? Okay? And what does this take place? What's happening here? And what is she referring to? The player queen is the lady, right? And what she's essentially saying is she's overdoing it. The lady does protest too much. Maybe she's trying to hide something, is what she's trying to say. And, of course, the queen is actually taking a little bit of offense to this, too, because the player queen is supposed to be her. So she's taking a little bit of offense. How about this one? This was my random one I threw on here for you.
That's Hamlet.
It's Hamlet. Yes, to Polonius. What's going on here? I know. This was their cloud conversation where they're like, oh, no, I think it's shaped like a weasel. No, it's back like a whale. And they're just talking about clouds. Okay? Talk to me about this. This is Hamlet, right? And he says it to himself. And that's a good thing to note. He does not say this aloud to others because this quote, he's questioning suicide, okay, which was an unforgivable sin in that time period. So he doesn't want other people to know that he's in this dark place, right? So to be or not to be really means to live or not to live. How about this one? Oh, I didn't hear as many confident voices. It's Polonius. Mm-hmm. It's not to Hamlet. It was kind of after Hamlet left. But it was Polonius suspecting that maybe Hamlet is not as crazy as he seems. Okay? How about Ophelia? This was the act that we read last week, right, in Act 4, where she's passing out different flowers, right? And we did the Ophelia's flowers activity. I know. She was.
Hamlet to himself.
Also Hamlet to himself. Someone raise your hand and tell me what is going on here. Megan.
Sadly.
Like in power and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really inspired after seeing Fortinbras leading his army. How about that one?
Hamlet.
Who is he talking to? Who's the her? Queen Gertrude. This is when he's going to go up to her room and he's going to speak sharply to her. He claims he's going to use no daggers, but he does use a dagger, just not on her. Who's this? Yes, the ghost saying, hey, in order for me to be set free, you have to avenge my murder. And this is where Hamlet agrees to do that. Polonius. I heard like 3 of you. This is Polonius. A lot of times people will wrongly attribute this quote to Hamlet because Hamlet is the star of our play. But this is actually Polonius giving his son advice as he heads to France. Okay, to thine own self be true. Raise your hand if you think it's Hamlet. I need more. Who do you think? If it's not Hamlet, who is it?
Must be Horatio.
It is Hamlet. He says this. I think it's Messenger. Yeah, it's Messenger. No, it is Hamlet. He says it under his breath about King Claudius, meaning we're not really related, so don't try to be my dad. Okay? Yeah, you're not my daddy. Hamlet with his plan to test King Claudius' guilt. Queen Gertrude. Who is she talking about?
Polonius.
How come?
Because he's explaining why Hamlet is crazy for Ophelia and he's taking forever to get to the point.
Good. Yes, he's going on and on and on and on, like Polonius tends to do. And the queen kind of rolls her eyes and says, more matter, less art, meaning get to the point, which he doesn't do. Hamlet must be cruel to be kind. Very famous. Marcellus, excellent. Don't make the mistake and think that that's Horatio. Even though Horatio is more of a big character than Marcellus, this is Marcellus' magic moment. He gets a famous line too.
That's Queen Gertrude.
At the very end of where we read last week, it's Laertes. It's Laertes. Remember? Ophelia drowned, and that's what he means when he says too much water. Meaning, yeah. So I forbid my tears. And our last one, Hamlet, over and over and over again, when he's talking with Ophelia. Okay? All right. Hey, if you can do this, you are 100% going to be ready for the test. Okay? There will be a quote section. There's going to be character analysis, right? So you need to know your characters, which I'm fairly confident you do. There's going to be just general comprehension questions. Okay? And all of you have been here tracking along. You should be fine on that. The quote section tends to be the hardest, right? And that's why I wanted to do some practice with this to make sure that, you knew that you could be successful with this and that you were used to this idea of figuring out who said it and kind of what was going on. Because that really helps you when you're trying to remember a quote. Okay? All right, we've got about 10 minutes left, and a lot of you still need to get your Act 4 sections checked off in your packet. I'd say about 3 of you did last week, but some of you were not here. We had a lot of planned school situations happening, so some of you were gone for that. But I'm going to get out my stamp, and I want you wrapping up those Act 4 sections. If you were here, if you were here, one of the days we did half of the Act 4 questions, and we finished the reading, and we need to do the rest. But it's fairly short, okay? All the sections for it are short this time. Okay? All right, that should be about it. And hopefully I can get you all checked off today by the end of class.